Linus Stubbs, aka the mayor of Ogden, live from the skybox. When you're not producing music, what else do you like to do?
Well, they call me the mayor because I just walk around my city kissing babies, shaking hands, walking old ladies across the street. I'm a professional beer drinker, hanging out with friends and snowboarding, skateboarding around downtown, snapping photos wherever I go, going to Salt Lake, partying.
What was it that got you into music?
I met a friend named DJ Big Stefan back in the day, and we became good friends. I used to bootleg his mixtapes that were actually on tape because I didn't know who he was. I didn't know where to buy his mixtapes. So one day I met up with him. He'd just take me with him to like his gigs, like down in Salt Lake, or like different house parties, and I'd help him carry his crates of records. And then all of a sudden one day I was just decided to ask him, hey man, let's teach me how to make beats, because he made beats as well as DJ. So he worked at Guitar Center, and they let him bring home an MPC 4000 just for the night that we could. So we just messed around with that, just drank beers and messed around with the MPC, and I made my first beat. And ever since then I've been stuck on it ever since then. That was probably about 14 years ago.
Where do you find inspiration to make your beats?
What inspires me to make beats? Fuck, I don't know what to say, dude. Okay. It could be anything from listening to one of my friends' songs. It could be something that happened to me throughout the day that made me feel a certain way, whether I was feeling kind of dark or maybe happy, funky. Stuff like that kind of inspires me to either get in the studio or what kind of even style I want to make that day. Just depends on, yeah, how I'm feeling that day, I guess.
I know there's a process to making a beat and putting it together, from digging for a specific sound, etc. How do you know when you found a particular sample?
Basically, if I'm flipping through different records, I'll just keep flipping through something that catches my attention or catches my ear. I'll just sit around and listen to records all the way through, whether it be like on 45 or just regular speed or slowed down. I'll just listen to records all the way through and just sit around and see if I can find certain sounds, or sometimes I'll just do loops, but usually I like to find sounds that I can chop from different records and put them all together. Let's see what this sounds like. Yeah? Okay, beat's done.
So I know you've worked with many artists in your career. Just in case people may not know Linus Stubbs, whom are some of the talent that you've worked with?
What was the question? I worked with a lot of MCs throughout the years, but one of the first guys that ever bought a beat from me, his name was Rume Kraga. He's from Africa, and We did quite a few tracks together. He was the first MC I ever worked with. One of the next ones, which was probably one of the most important for me, is Task Rock, Dumb Luck, Pat Main.
Thank you inside my CD cover, but thanks. Remember when never was never and didn't know what a care was. Now we Uncle Youngins of some friends just like we share blood.
Dusk Raps, Calhoun Papadopoulos, and the Smash Brothers. Me and Task have had copyright on a track before. Me and Dusk have an unreleased track with Lewis Logic that's not out yet. Will Deluxe, he's currently residing in Japan right now. D Strong.
About time they heard the rhyme and start sweating the poem. Beats the Linus Stubbs lock kept at his home. Open imaginations, long lost travelers, amateur salvation, knowing they come after you. Replica stunt doubles take to the streets, they want trouble with the original. Subliminally speak.
Umong, I've worked with Umong.
Linus beats, get these folks in their hands above. I rhyme like I use performing enhancement drugs. While Linus keeps stabbing at beats until they hold and still. My vocals kill, I stay current like the ocean deals.
Remember the song furthermore, earn your stars, Umong. Y'all know what it name, but ain't heard a bar.
Well, I've got a song coming out with, hopefully it comes out soon, with Kosha Dills and Mr. Fab. Father Focus Confucius out of the Midwest. The kids from Rock Bottom from Cali. I did an album with the Moonblazers from Cali. The Numbs from Salt Lake. There's so many other people that I'm missing, dude. I know it. And I know I'm forgetting a lot of people, and so I apologize, but yeah, there's been quite a few people I've worked with throughout the years. Some tracks that have and have not been put out.
If you could tag team with any producer on a project, who would you have in your corner?
I think the producer I would most like to work with would probably be Pete Rock. He was one of the first guys to ever use like at least, you know, like multiple records on one song, just different sounds, when most people were just kind of using loops back then. So I think he would be very fun to make beats with. One of my favorite guys I've worked with was Yoga Flame Kane, my good homie Yoga Flame Kane. But I started out collabing with my friend DJ Mind One back in the day. My first two albums I put out, Above the Clydes. Peace out, Josh. Love you, babe.
What kind of musical equipment do you use to create your delicious sounds?
Just sampling records with the Techniques. Recently got a Rain mixer. I used the Akai 32. I started out using an MPD 16, but now I've moved up to this thing. I basically just use the pads. Always have used Reason. Mainly using just the samplers in there, so that's basically all I use. Just a little 8-track mixer just to plug all my sounds in so I can sample records, movies, CDs, anything, whatever.
You mentioned you have been in the game for a while. What advice would you give to up-and-coming producers?
Some advice I could give new producers, I guess, is just to don't be afraid to try new methods of making songs, certain ways to trying different ways to build a song, or finding different records that you wouldn't normally use, because you'll find really good samples on those that you would have never thought were there. Yeah, just don't be afraid to try new things and make mistakes.
Alright, Linus, you're on a desert island. You can have one album and one drink. What do you got?
One album and one drink? Well, album would definitely have to be Rebecca Black's new album. Absolutely. No, I'm just kidding. But if I wanted to keep it real hip-hop, I'd probably go with Gangstar's Moment of Truth. But I also really like Lewis Logic and J-Love's The Odd Couple Alcoholism album. That album is so entertaining to listen to all the way through. Favorite drink? Jameson. Served any which way you want. Irish mules, straight up in a shot glass, in a Coke, with water, ginger ale, anything, whatever, Jameson, babe.
Heaven forbid, you're on death row. Yeah, you get your last meal. What are you asking for?
My last meal? If I was gonna keep a Ogden, it would be Karen's crummy chicken. But I'd maybe go classy and go with a steak and shrimp. Or steak and crab. That's what I'd do right there.
Tequila or gin?
Tequila makes me crazy, so probably tequila.
All right, my man. Ass or titties?
I have to say ass. But I like both, but ass first.
Summer or winter?
Summer or winter? Oh, I like summer a lot. And I don't like being cold in the winter, but I love to snowboard. So I'd probably have to say summer.
Hockey or baseball?
Baseball. I used to be a big Dodgers fan back in the day. So baseball.
Over your musical career, what would you say are some of your more memorable moments?
Some of my memorable moments? Number one would probably be playing the Cannabis Cup in California a few years ago with Task and Phil, Maj. That was quite an amazing trip, I gotta say. Memorable moment would be Juggy, DJ Juggy, my boy Juggy, playing a bunch of me and Task music on Shade 45. That was pretty cool to listen to that. Another memorable moment was flying out to San Diego with Task and Phil and doing like a private show for a glass shop opening. That was a pretty fun trip. I met a lot of really cool people on that trip.
In the future, where do you see your music taking you?
I just see myself just to keep making beats, keep trying different things, continue to work with good MCs. I'd like to reach out to a bunch of other different MCs across the country or the world. That would be great. Other than that, just keep doing my thing.
Alright, Linus, if I wanted to hear some of your music or get in contact with you, how would I go about doing that?
If you want to get in contact with me, my email is linusmusic@gmail. Probably the best place to listen to my music is on Bandcamp. I've got a bunch of different sites, but my main one is linusstubbs.bandcamp.com. Me and Willie Lux also have our own. Me and Task have our own Bandcamp on there, as well as me and Dumb Luck. It's deafletter.bandcamp.com. I have a SoundCloud. I try to keep that one loaded with like exclusive stuff that you can't really get on my Bandcamp, or just like unreleased tracks, or just like singles. That's just like soundcloud.com/Linus Stubbs. Everything is Linus Stubbs. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything Linus Stubbs. Google me, babe.